Hello everyone, my name is Leericle, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you how to transition from World of Warcraft to Final Fantasy XIV. In this video I'm going to be sharing terminology and just doing a little showcase of the game and kind of doing a comparison and similarities, showing the differences. Okay, so in this video okay, dude. Anyways, like I was saying, maybe I picked this bad spot here. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Yeah, I'm doing a video. You looking at me? Alright, just get back to work, get back to work. Alright, anyways. Okay, okay. Let me just wait for this person. She's gonna... Okay, anyways, like I was saying. She probably had a quest or something, so it's okay. So in this video, we're going to be doing a comparison and try to help out the new players transition from World of Warcraft to Final Fantasy. So we're going to be showing the similarities and the differences, and we're also going to be comparing terminologies from the game, so you can understand the game a lot better, because a lot of the things in this game are very similar to World of Warcraft, but they use different name styles and things like that. So let's start from there. And speaking of that, this spell that I just used right now, in World of Warcraft, we would call that the Hearthstone. So the return spell is basically your Hearthstone. And it has a 15-minute cooldown or 14-minute cooldown. Okay, so this is my home city, Ul'dah. I believe that's how you say it. Okay, first, let's talk about these Aetherite Currents. Aetherite Crystals. All over the map, you will see these Aetherite Crystals. These are basically like the towns, and this is the major city, Ul'dah. There's three main factions, which is called Grand Companies. Like the Alliance, you would have Stormwind, Ironforge, etc., you know, that type of thing. So there's three of them in Final Fantasy. There's the Immortal Flames, which is in Ul'dah. There is... I forgot what this was called. Yo, dude. But there's one in Limbs of Laminsa. This is another main city. And the other one is New Gridania. And that's the Twin Adder. The Twin Adder, the Immortal Flames, and I forgot what the other one was. So this is kind of like Stormwind in a way. So you want to think of the Grand Company as like Stormwind. If you wanted to make your own guild, it would be called a free company. So right now I'm in a guild with my sister. It's just we haven't decided on a name yet. As you can see, it's right there, the guild name. I'm gonna be using WoW terminology so you can better understand it. So a free company is basically your guild for World of Warcraft, and you can see your ranks, and it's very similar. Like you have a guild bank, which is called the company chest. It's similar to the, you know, in World of Warcraft, you get slots, you can put money in there, you can withdraw and deposit. You can also see the history of the transactions that were made in the guild bank. So there's also like crafting materials and stuff like that you can put in there. I'm not gonna be showing you too much. I just want to get the basics to help out the new players. So yeah, so that's the guild, and this is like the guild bank. This is kind of like Stormwind, which is the Alliance. This is the city here in Ul'dah. Right now there's an Easter event, that's why there's little eggs all over the place. But yeah, let's go ahead and show you the inn real quick. So this is a little bit different because in Final Fantasy you have your own little room, basically like a little hotel. So this is where you can go in and edit your things. Eventually you can get your own house, so you can decorate your own house, but All players have this, which is like your little personal space here. You can edit your glamour, which is in World of Warcraft it would be called transmog. Your transmogrification, you can put it in here. So basically you can add separate items in here. Like this is basically like a wardrobe. You can put all your headpieces in here. Yeah, you just put them in here and then you hit edit glamour plates and now you can make your own stuff. So yeah, this just is like the little transmog station. Your armoire, you can put, this is kind of like a little mini bank for your gear. If you wanted to put your old gear in here that you want to save. Let's say, cause like if you have too much in here, you can only hold so much. Oh, another thing to keep in mind is all your gear is saved in a separate inventory slot. It's not in your bags. You have your own specific armory chest, so you can equip different sets, and you can save the sets just like transmog. So you can save transmog sets, and you can also save battle sets. Yeah, I just want to explain the differences. So this is kind of like a little bank for your gear. I would actually compare this to the void storage in a way. I would say like the armor is kind of like the void storage for your gear, your older gear or whatever that you want to save. I don't really have any toys, so I'm kind of new to that. This would be your barber shop, like in comparison to WoW, and it's for yeah, let's go ahead and check it out real quick. Okay, dude. We're just gonna skip that for now. So yeah, just like the barbershop in WoW, you can customize your hair, customize your colors, your eyebrow types, and you know you can do the basic, just like cosmetic, but you cannot change like your eye shape, your mouth shape, your face shape, your ear shape. That's all done in the beginning. You have to purchase the transmog potion, whatever, from the store with actual money to actually change any of the other stuff. So this is the part that I got confused when I first started. I was trying to look for like my bank, but in this game it's called retainers, and you get 2 of them for free. If you wanted more, you'd have to pay real money to get more storage. So basically you get like 3 slots of storage here, and this is for your crafting materials as well. And you can also access, you can deposit your money here. You can access the auction house in terms, in Final Fantasy is called the market board. So you can set up things in, for auction like this, put up for sale, put up the price and everything. So you can access the auction house from here. You can see your history. This is I'm not gonna go into too much detail about this, but this is just, you can send them on missions to help gather materials for you. So that's another thing. So yeah, this is just the basics. This is your bank, this is your barbershop, this is your transmog station, this is your void storage. So that's just a little comparison for you guys, and you just go to the inn in any major city and you can access that area right there. And in World of Warcraft, there's flight paths to travel to destinations, but in Final Fantasy, we have these things called Aetherite Crystals. So majority of the time, there will be a few of them. Like let's actually go somewhere. Let me see something that's. Let me actually go to the newer ones actually, so I can show you better. A lot of times you'll see that there will be towns. So this is like little towns within the zone, and you can teleport there. Like in World of Warcraft, you have to fly there on a griffin, but in Final Fantasy, you can teleport anywhere, anytime, but it costs gil or gold, gil, whatever you want to call it, to teleport there. And based on how far away it is, you see this one's 99 because it's, or 999 because it's far away. But if I were to teleport to somewhere that is close, you'll see that it is very cheap. So if I were to teleport here, it'd be very cheap. If I were to teleport really far away, it would be more expensive. And the only way to access it is the same way in World of Warcraft. You actually have to go up to the crystal and attune yourself to the crystal to be able to teleport there. So that's a similarity in World of Warcraft. But in these little towns, you cannot use mounts in the cities. So they do have these little mini crystals here. These don't cost any guild to use, so this is free. You just have to attune yourself to the little crystals and it can teleport you around the city. So these are like little NPC vendors here. Has all your crafting materials, weapons, gear, everything you can think of on here. So actually, let's go to the market board, which is over here. You can also access your retainers over here. So you can access your bank where you see that little summoning bell. And also right here, see too, they have them all over the place, especially in these important areas. So see, there's one over there too. There's a bunch everywhere. So here's basically the auction house. So I'm not going to go too much into detail. I'm pretty sure you guys know how to use an auction house, so I'm not going to go into it. So now let's actually go outside and explain the zones a little bit. So we're going to be going into the new zone. Okay, so another thing to mention about the world is one of the things that I like about World of Warcraft that this game doesn't really have or do is it is instance based. The zones are instance based. They have invisible walls. You can't fly everywhere. It would be nice if you could, to be honest, but that's one thing that I did like about WoW that Final Fantasy doesn't have. But honestly, look at the way they create the environment. You can't even tell, to be honest. It feels like a realistic world, and honestly, I can just keep going. look at this. So look at this. They add so much detail into the environment. Like, you literally feel like you're in the zone. So don't let that be don't let that hinder you from playing the game, because it's still an amazing game. It feels immersive. So look at this empty zone, and yet I could still come over here. Look how far I can go, dude. A lot of zones aren't like this, but yeah, there are going to be invisible walls, as you can see right here. So you see this, an invisible wall. So there are limits, there are loading zones, but the zones are really immersive, and they put a lot of detail into their zones. So I just wanted to show that off. And every zone, you'll see these little dots here when you're going to transition to another zone. But you could also see it on the map too, so you can see those adjoining areas. So any ground mount can be used for flying. I think this is the one you get from a quest for free. You'll probably start out with this one, but you won't be able to fly just yet. In order to fly, you'll need something. You will need to unlock something that's called Aether Currents. This is very different from World of Warcraft, because in World of Warcraft you can unlock flying by purchasing the training, but in this game you need to unlock the Aether Currents. Let me see if I can actually find one that was somewhere. Okay guys, so I found an Aether Current that I picked up. It's grayed out now, but normally you would see things like this, but it would be green, and it'll be all over the map. It'll be all over the map, and it'll sometimes be in difficult spots. Like in this spot, see, you can access it on the ground mount too, just so you know. So as you can see, you have to collect quite a few of them. I believe the yellow ones are gonna be unlocked through quests. So you have to complete certain quests to unlock specific Aether Currents. So once you unlock it for a specific zone, like I unlocked it all for Lakeland, then now I can fly in Lakeland, but only in Lakeland. You have to do this for every certain zone, but there's no level limit other than the quests. You can be any level and fly in the zone. So you can collect this at level 71. If it was possible, You can probably collect it around level 71 or lower level. You don't have to be max level to fly in this zone. All you have to do is collect the Aether Currents, and then you'll be able to fly in the zone. But you have to do it for every certain zone. And it's not, honestly, it's not even that difficult. It's a lot easier to unlock flying in this game than in World of Warcraft, to be honest. And look at the detail in this game, dude. Look at it. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, I'm gonna be showing you the dungeons. Okay, so this is the entrance of a dungeon. It looks like these people are completing the quests to unlock this dungeon. So normally, you would only need to go to the entrance of a dungeon just to unlock it. Every dungeon in this game, you have to unlock it through a quest. So, like this one is... this one right here, the Hall Minister Switch. But in this game, you cannot enter the dungeon just like World of Warcraft. You just walk in the portal and it gets in. Even so, the entrance automatically just opens up the Duty Finder. So we'll pick this one because this is the first dungeon in the game, so I don't want to do any spoilers or whatever. So yeah, it's just like basically it's kind of like the LFG, looking for group system in World of Warcraft, but that's how you enter dungeons in this game. Even if it's by yourself, you have to use that system. So this is like the little barrier to make sure everyone is ready, or if they're watching a cutscene, it'll still be locked. So once it's done, it'll open up. As you can see in this game, you can actually see when they're linked together. So if you pull aggro on this mob, this one's automatically gonna follow you too. So, and as you can see, like this red one means that they're aggressive mobs, and the other symbol, which I'll show you up ahead, means that they're passive. These game, look at that, the first dungeon, it looks so dang beautiful. You see, I just aggroed those mobs right there. And you can see the mob list right there. So a lot of these dungeons are very linear. That's the one thing. You see is blue, so we're gonna click on the blue one when we open it up. But another thing to mention in here, so all you have to do is just open up the map. You'll see that a lot of these dungeons in Final Fantasy are very, very linear. In comparison to like World of Warcraft, like the complexities of like Blackrock Depths, it's like a maze in there. You have the freedom to explore, the freedom to do that. Not so much in Final Fantasy XIV, but don't get me wrong, even though it's still a fun game, the mechanics are still fun, and the more you get into the dungeons, the more you're gonna love them. And it's not only just dungeons, there's also trials and raids and normal alliance raids. You know, it gets pretty complex and crazy. So these are, like I said, these are the aggressive mobs over here, and this is a neutral mob. It will not activate until you normally well, because it's in a dungeon, it does that. I triggered because I was pretty close, but normally if you see that icon, it means they're a neutral mob. Okay, so I'm just gonna ignore those mobs for now. They're not really gonna damage me anyway. So once you get to a boss area, you will see this line here. That means you're gonna enter a new zone. So once you aggro the boss, you will be locked into this area. You won't be able to escape. And in that little note that we found, it said that we were supposed to trigger the blue one. So we're gonna click this blue one here. Like little puzzles within the dungeon here. There's the boss. We kill the boss, and it does have little mechanics, but you can watch that in another video, to be honest. I just want to compare the differences between WoW and Final Fantasy, just the terminology or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this dungeon here. All right. So as you can see, this one kind of reminds me of Dead Mines a little bit, to be honest. This area. The beginning was like a little bit weird, but now it kind of reminds me of Dead Mines. It's funny because like this is also the first dungeon. Oh man, they're copying off of each other, man. Alright, so we cleared the area here. And then there's the little pirate thing. There is normally a cutscene for every dungeon. But I have in the menu I have it disabled to disable the cutscenes if I've already seen it before. So right now I'm just gonna show you a little bit of the mechanics in here. You see these little rippling tides. If you just click on it, it'll stop the enemies or ads from spawning. So it is kind of similar to World of Warcraft. And this is the first boss, by the way. So it introduces you to mechanics in the game, like, you know, to know. And here's an AoE. You'll see the area which is going to affect. And it gets more complex. It gets super crazy at higher end raids. So this is just a little introductory to that. And it also has another cutscene when you finish. And then once you finish the dungeon, you just get the treasure coffer in here. You can roll need or greed, but if you're by yourself, you automatically loot it. And here's the exit portal. You don't have to ask for a mage portal or anything. You could just, it automatically has an exit portal for you. So you can just leave it, and then, yeah. And these are instance based, so that you cannot exit. You have to complete it. Otherwise, if you exit, you're gonna have to start all over again. So it doesn't save like in World of Warcraft. Every time you enter, it's gonna be a new dungeon, a new instance. It doesn't save. So actually, look at that. There's a fate here. So this is, you get experience here. On these little icons here, these are like temporary little events that you can do to get experience. There's a person doing it right now. This is the ending area here, and in this section of the video I'm going to be talking about the end game and raiding, and kind of explain a little bit about the tokens that you receive to get raiding or to get higher level gear. So basically you'll get these things called tombstones, Allegan tombstones, and the older ones are called the tombstones of poetics. This is your tombstones of allegory, and this is tombstones of revelation. So basically you'll get the higher end tombstones that has a weekly cap of 450, like the higher level gear right here, but there's a cap to it. Like, let's say if I wanted to get a chest piece, it's gonna take 2 weeks for me to get this chest piece. And also the accessories on the character here. And similarly, it is kind of similar to World of Warcraft, where green is kind of like common, blue is rare, and then purple is like epics. But in this game, I guess the purple is more kind of like the legendary, because the relic weapon is like the best weapon you can get for your character, which is purple. So this is basically like your relic weapon. Recently there was a patch with a new dungeon that drops 505 for Shadowbringers, so that's why this gear is kind of like outdated now. So this gear is pretty much worthless because of the new dungeon that drops 505. So it does the same thing like in World of Warcraft. They'll make a catch-up dungeon for you to catch up, so you can do the new content that they released. Let me just switch that thing off so you can do normal stuff. So the other thing is, like, the dungeons will also have item level requirements. You will not be able to enter if you do not have the item level requirement for that. Well, actually in the duty finder, this is basically like the looking for group in World of Warcraft. You'll get rewards by doing this, and these little things here, you can trade it in for gems. Basically, I'm gonna use the WoW terminology so you better understand. You can trade it for gems / materia. So here you don't actually need a trading class to do it, you can actually just purchase it with those little clusters that I showed you earlier through the duty finder. So yeah, you can purchase the gems here, materia here, and you can slot it into your gear with a melder. I already have my gear slotted, so let me just show you this one. You put in a gem. There will be some where you cannot put in, like I cannot add any more spell speed to this specific piece of gear because it's already capped. So you have to find something that is doesn't have that cap on it. Like I can add more crit because there's space for me to do that. Then I do it, and it'll cost me 1,400 if I wanted to do it, and it's a 100% success rate. But if you did level your crafting jobs, if you did level these, I don't have any yet. I will work on it eventually, but I'm not gonna do it right now. But yeah, you can level these and you can actually just do it yourself. So that's another thing to keep in mind there. So even if you don't have the crafting for it, you can still get it this way. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Alright, so that's just a little explanation and transition for newer players for Final Fantasy XIV who are coming from the WoW community. I want to welcome you to Final Fantasy, and hopefully this video has been helpful for you better understand the similarities and differences of Final Fantasy and World of Warcraft. Anyways, I hope you good luck on your adventure, and just take your time and just enjoy the game. That's all I want to say. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.